Welcome to Murder at the Round Table Unedited. I'm Ivsha, and today we're going to be talking about a conspiracy theory around a very specific, mysterious car that was popular in the Soviet Union. Joining me today are the biggest conspirators that I know, and the champion of chaos. It's Raf and Neha.
Hi.
Hello.
They're conspiring about something. Anyways. Before we continue, if you enjoy conspiracy theories, murders, and mysterious cases, please consider subscribing, following, and leaving us a comment on your favorite conspiracy theory, and maybe we'll discuss that on a future episode. So, are you guys excited? Do you know a lot about cars that were used in the Soviet Union?
No.
No? Okay, good. So, okay, here are some of the trigger warnings. There's mention of child abduction, murder of children. These are kind of like the big ones. There's also like satanic rituals and witchcraft as well. Anything more than that will be in the show notes below. So this conspiracy theory is also kind of a urban legend, and it's kind of goes that there's children playing and all of a sudden there's a mysterious car and all of a sudden the car just zings by, the children are gone, the car is gone. And I'm not going to focus so much on the story because I think some of the theories around these incidences really tells about the time and the era that the people were living in. So, so pretty much the lifestyles that the people were facing during the period. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Black Volga urban legend slash conspiracy theory. And it was commonly used in Russia, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Ukraine. And this is where the urban legend slash conspiracy theory stems from, but the vehicle was also popular outside of the Soviet Union, such as Greece and Mongolia as well. So a little bit about the car. The reason why it's called the Black Volga is because that was commonly used by these people who may or may not have been kidnapping children, but the Volga does come in different colors, and they're kind of cute colors like mint green, sage green, and red and white. So the Volga was manufactured
Sorry.
by the.
Can I just note that it took me a very long time before I figured out that you were saying Volga.
What were you hearing?
Oh, I was hearing Volvo.
Volga.
Did you have to Google to clarify?
He did. He probably did.
I was just like, wait, the Black Volvo, what?
Volvo?
No, I didn't hear Volvo. I heard Volva. Anyways, I figured it out. Just
Okay. It's called the Black Volga.
Volga. Yeah, got it.
Volga.
Awesome.
Okay. This is staying in. I'm keeping this in. Agent
Oh,
of
that's
Chaos.
fine. 100%.
So yeah, the Black Volga or the Volga was manufactured by the Soviet Union. By the Soviet Union company GAZ, and I did not write that what that was abbreviated for, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. But the GAZ was established in 1932 as a collaboration between the Soviet government and Ford Motor Companies to industrialize the USSR and provide vehicles for the state use and workers. Over time, the GAZ had become one of the most prominent automakers in the Soviet Union, creating vehicles that symbolized Soviet engineering and state power. Fun, hey? The Volga line came out in 1956 with the GAZ 21 Volga.
Okay. We get it. Volga. I got it.
I don't know. I don't want you to be confused, okay?
No, it's that. I'm picturing the car now. We're good.
Did you search it up? Maybe you want to search it up?
No, I'm okay.
I don't want you to picture something else, you know?
You already
It's
did.
alright. Nah.
I
You
wasn't
know.
wrong about the Champions of Chaos in my intro, to be honest. So, the Volga is a large sedan type of car, and it is very luxurious and it symbolizes prestige. Um, so, when it first came out, it was used by government officials, high ranking communist party members, members of the public that could afford the car. And the Black Volga, particularly the one that was black, um, it was the popular choice of many KGB members for surveillance purposes.
Hmm.
So I went through two references, and I'll say which ones they are. One was from the Vocal Media, and then another one from a blog post by J.A. Hernandez. And there are some agreed facts. So, some of the facts and theories that people have agreed on are the Black Volga, it was pitch black, even
Okay.
tinted windows. Um, there were some white features, such as the wheel rims were white, and some say that the window curtains were white, and but other people said that the windows were heavily tinted, so you can't even see who's sitting inside.
Mm-hmm.
Some say that there was a license plate that was white. Some say there was no license plate at all. And other variations of this urban legend claimed there was horns on the car instead of like side mirrors, and the license plate had 666 on it. The number 6 3 times. Ralph looks confused.
I don't know. I'm just like, why?
You know, you're kidnapping children in these cars.
Like how does it tie in with Soviet, and all that? The
Mhm.
Soviet
Yeah,
Union.
because isn't Russia like Orthodox?
I don't know, man. This is what the blog said.
Uh,
But satanic rituals were one of the theories people had, um, on why people, not just children actually, a lot of adults were going missing and this car showing up at the scene of the crime.
After or before? Like around the time that they're like this person was last seen, the car was also seen, or it was like, they say like this incident happened and the car was seen driving away from the scene.
So
mm,
here's the thing, like I tried to find like YouTube videos and stuff really like focusing on like a story or like a case of this happening to someone.
mm-hmm,
A lot of people were like saying like, "Oh, imagine you walking down the road. There's this mysterious black car on one end, and there's a bunch of kids, and all of a sudden it gets really foggy. The car's gone, and then the children gone, and stuff like that." So it's like before and after you can see the car in the area where the children were missing or the person was missing. But we'll get more to that. Because yeah, we'll just get more to that. So obviously this is a period, there's around the time of the Cold War, times were tough. Over the top of that, you have like government members, government spies maybe going around keeping tabs on everyone, and then there's children missing. So people were trying to like, obviously they're not liking their leaders, so they're
Mm-hmm.
connecting one and one together and being like, okay, I see what's happening. So there was this fear of this vehicle, especially the one that was in like the color black. And I think one of the theories was like, sometimes we have superstitions about like, black cats being bad luck and
mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So they were kind of associating that with this vehicle. Like this, if you see this car, it is bad luck. Um, So here's what a lot of people theoried happened. One of the theories was that it was government agencies and government agents and government agents and political god fucking damn it.
Not the chopstick reset.
So it was government agents, and this was due to political oppression. So I mentioned that the Black Volga was a popular car used by the KGB and other government cars. So every single day they'd use it to run their errands, but also political abduction if they didn't like someone, whether they were a child or an adult. Um, they were probably behind in the trunk of that Volga. Um, so there was Okay, so there was also like vampires and like satanic cults and other forms of stuff happening here because they were saying
Okay.
like some some articles that I read said that sometimes there was like this thing about like blood harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they would abduct their victims, whoever was driving the car, and they would drain out their blood and they'd give it to like the rich people who would use it to drink the blood to stay young.
Are
And
you sure this is not in LA?
no,
I feel like this is
they
more
might be
LA.
selling the blood to people in the Western regions, like United States, because there was a part that said that um, blood was being drained to being blood was drained and sold to rich people with leukemia. This was often sold to people in the West and Arab regions, but there was another portion said that it was actually being used for satanic cults as well. And this is where I'm like, I really need like an article with like news information that I could use because that would have been helpful.
Hmm.
Like leukemia was the cover story to sell it.
They could, yeah, but they're not doing it legally either, if that's the whole idea. These are the leukemia one and the drinking of the blood are two different theories. So, like the people driving it, I should have mentioned this first. This is kind of funny to me. Obviously, government officials, Russian mafia, Satanists, Jews, nuns, priests, and vampires, or even Satan himself. So yeah, those were kind of the theories on who's driving the car. Yeah, so it's believed that priests and nuns would often, and vampires, I guess you can put them in there too, were kidnapping children to do some sort of ritual with the blood.
And sorry, they were kidnapping the children using the cars?
Yeah, they're the one driving the cars.
So priests and nuns are driving the devil car
The
to then
devil car.
go and
The
kidnap
the the
children? The
the
very
devil
obvious evil car.
the devil portion of it was a theory, so I don't know if it's true or not, but they
Oh,
would be
okay.
driving a Black Volga for sure.
Okay. I'm
Like,
curious about
were these given by the state to like churches?
that was gonna be my
That
follow-up,
that
yeah.
I don't know either. I tried to do so much research on this to being like, I want case studies. I want to know why the church is involved, but I got none. I think like this entire thing, regardless of it, whether it be true or not, I'm sure it's true because like I've had this time when I was younger when we were told to stay away from white vans because they were kidnapping children. But I think people were so like paranoid of their government and everything going on that
Hmm.
anybody in like a place of authority was like a bad guy to them and had potential to harm innocent people. And I think that's what was happening. So that's why you have nun priests and everybody in there.
Anyone in some sort of authority
Yeah. And the
drives those cars.
last
Okay.
theory that I have is it's a UFO. It's not a car, it's a UFO. Oh, sorry. And the other theory with the blood is that their organs were being harvested, which was like absolutely could be true. But yeah, the last one I have in there is UFO. And yeah, this car never existed. It did. It still does. And that it was like a UFO that's abducting children to take them to outer space.
Okay.
Wait. Have you come across any articles or posts that talk about any recent incidents, like last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
Yes, I actually, well, it was part of one of the blogs, so it wasn't like a news article, but there was something from Ukraine where a pipe bursted, and someone said they saw a Black Volga, um, at some point during that day of that pipe burst. The thing is, the Volga isn't a popular car today. Um, it's been replaced by higher brands such as BMW, Mercedes, and they're not really. The articles didn't say like these cars are being replaced to do like corrupted things such as this. It's
Hmm.
just that they're just higher functioning vehicles compared to the Volga. So the last time that somebody saw this was in the incident that I said. It was 2018, and they said that they saw a Black Volga.
Anyways, yeah, that was oh boy, that was
I like
interesting.
the theory of it was like being used for harvesting blood and organs because
It
I
makes the most
remember,
sense.
yeah, and I remember in one class that I took in university, it was a class based off of like discussing different cults and these theories and things like that from all around the world. And in Ukraine, like especially in smaller towns across the country, there were, especially towns that were like mining towns, right?
Mhm.
Where the education level was less. The money, people didn't have that much money. Like there wasn't a lot of chances for people to grow economically. And it was either you were there or you weren't. Like you were there for a
Mhm.
while and then you move on to the next place where you can find a job. And then certain like you would find people of certain education levels there more frequently, or like certain ways of thinking there more. And I feel like, and then with that comes like us, like there's certain way of thinking of like certain way of thinking religiously as well. And then um I think like people, like it could have been the government could have been taking advantage of that fact,
Mhm.
and because that still exists today.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so I feel like that was like an organ harvestation has been happening for so long.
There
It's
was
nothing
also
new, right?
mm,
Like,
yeah, that's nothing new for sure. And one of the other things that I meant that it always has been a psychological warfare. Like,
Hmm.
government officials were kind of like spreading this rumor about this vehicle. Yeah, it could be that police officers or whoever was going around, um, listening in onto people's conversation, sure. But perhaps they were kind of using that as a scare tactic to
mhm,
scare away, or keep people at bay.
Keep people in mind.
100%.
Yeah. So on that note, do you think maybe this is kind of like a Slender Man kind of realm of like urban myth in a
Yes
way?
and no. I think yes. Let's start with the no. No is because it could actually have happened. Like this car was actually
Like,
used
it
for
was actually
abduction. Yeah,
produced.
Mm.
it was 100% actually produced. And yes, the KGB, the government official, could be kidnapping people for political purposes. Um, and children could have been abducted because through generations that has been a thing. Like I said, when I was a kid, we were told to stay away from white fats. So, and I think I've heard like other people tell me like, oh, for me it was this car of this color, and it is 100% a thing. The no part is that I'm having a hard time believing some of the theories of like the Satanists, the vampires, and stuff like that. Yes, blood could have been harvested for leukemia and organs could have been trafficked, but like that, those are kind of the things where I'm like, maybe not. And maybe that was more of a scare tactic to be like telling your kids, being like, listen, if you play outside alone past this hour, they're going to come get you.
Yeah. And I'd be leaning more towards that. But who knows? The Soviet
Mhm.
Union was the Soviet Union, so. But
Yeah.
I also feel like if the KGB is coming after you, they're not going to use a standard car, like a go-to
This
car, you
wasn't
know?
a standard car when it first came out.
No, no,
Later.
no. What I mean when I say that is they're not going to use like the same car. Like if the public know or not necessarily knows, but has this idea that this kind of car is a KGB car,
Mhm.
the KGB is not going to come after you in that car,
No,
you
100%.
know?
And that's what I was saying, like, the KGB could have been going around in that car, listening in on people and monitoring people,
Yeah.
but and that itself was a scare tactic used by the government or even, like, locals being like, "They're gonna take you away in that car."
Hmm.
Um,
But it must have happened. It must have happened, or it must people must have, like, maybe I mean,
seen
I
something.
wanna say, yeah, people must have seen something or it must have happened, but like you said, like, governments do spread rumors about themselves as well, but, like, back the ability to spread rumors now is a lot easier for the government than it was back
Mhm,
then, right? But if
mhm.
you're using, like, literal people to infiltrate and, like, society and, like, spread these things around, then I think, it's 100% possible that that could have been the case too. But I feel like something must have happened. Like people must have witnessed at least a few incidents, or it was just strategically like told,
Mhm.
like you're in a bar, you're in a public
Yeah.
place. So you like someone is intentionally saying this so that this other person is going to hear and the story is going to spread.
Yeah, and storytelling is, of course, a thing. People tell stories. I will say what one article, I don't remember what it was called. It said that towards the end, when the Black Volga was dying, like it wasn't as popular anymore, it started
Hmm.
to be used as taxis. So, the intent of taxis can be pretty bad when it comes to like,
Yeah.
more of that organ harvesting and kidnapping stuff.
Okay, so follow up. In everything that you saw, was there anything that indicated like either structurally or some sort of feature or whatever with the car that was just so unpopular that it just didn't take off?
In terms of like how it functioned?
Yeah, like could this be a situation of the car was just, pardon my French, shit, and it just didn't take off. They couldn't like mass produce it either because there was something wrong with it, or maybe it was just so specific it cost too much to make more of it.
I didn't see any a thing like, but a lot of people who do reviews on it say it's kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what took over was like better cars, like and things that are more efficient or maybe it looked more prestigious. One thing that I forgot to mention, the people who did see the Black Volga in their neighborhood or in the streets, they said that the car was in pristine condition. Not that it changes anything. It was just always clean.
That means nobody's driving that thing for long.
The KGB just left it and been like, okay, bye. I'm getting ice
No,
cream.
No,
no.
they go and use it for the intended use, and then they put it back in the garage.
Either that or okay, one of two things. One, they were trying to like market the car, being like, oh, people are gonna see this car and they're gonna be like, whoa, what's that? What's that new car? Whatever, and it backfired on
It
them.
backfired.
Or two, the car is so shit you can only drive it once or twice.
That could have been like people. I did see like because I wasn't sure if GAZ was supposed to be said GAZ or if it was pronounced Gaz. So I was like,
Hmm.
how do I say it? And there was a YouTube video that said Gaz, but they were saying how kind of like not great this car is. But in one article, it just said the reason why this car died down in these regions is because there were better cars being produced by other companies
Mm.
that were not related to the Soviet Union, such as the BMW and Mercedes, I think it was.
Okay.
And it was like in the late 1980s when it kind of started to die down, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm. All right. Let's see.
The thing I was going to say, we do have a listener or listeners from Russia. If they have any like case study, or if there has been cases and they know that it's related to something similar to this, maybe give us a link or a shout and we'll check it out.
Oh yeah, if it's safe to.
If it's
Yeah.
safe to. If it's because if it, I don't know, like sometimes region wise it's hard to find things, but yeah, if
Mhm.
it's safe to, if it's like, oh, this has happened to this person. There was some names, unfortunately I couldn't find articles on it of kids going missing, and that's it, just they just vanished. So there are names, I just couldn't find a detailed information about it. So yes.
So when was the last disappearance?
That I don't know. Like, I literally could not find any articles and timeline events. I was really hoping to find those because, like, that's how I structured my research, and I
Yeah.
couldn't. I even couldn't find, like, a story, like when you search up an urban legend, you read a story. I couldn't even find that. It was just facts and details about the car. So Rav isn't too far from what he said, that it could be a marketing tactic that didn't work
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
I wonder if like the other colors were maybe like seen more, or maybe they were used more,
The
right? Because you said it was still produced in other colors.
Yeah, like, yes. So like you're saying, like, if the other colors were being used more.
Yeah, like if like they were more common in the market at the time around when this, the Black Volga story was popular.
Yeah, it 100% could be. And like I said, I think people feared the Black Volga because it was black.
Mm-hmm.
And the black color, I think it was preference for a lot of government agents or secret agents. So
Mhm.
I think a lot of people just feared that one a little bit more than, let's say, a bright white Volga or a red one.
A mint green.
A mint green, that would be so scary.
Oh gosh. Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, I think Raf has a new theory. It was the government trying to
I
do
always
some
think it's the
marketing.
government. Like,
Well, it is definitely the government.
you know, I was thinking it's government on everything. Yeah, even Nahani, I'm just like every single time we have an episode, I'm just like, this is proof
Government.
the government's involved. Um, though, just putting it out there, don't come after me, okay? Because like, you know,
This is all alleged. This is just
super alleged.
discussion. We're just
Yeah,
Yeah.
discussing theories. We're not hardcore,
yeah,
like
exactly.
committed to anything.
Just a podcast. You can't come after
Just
us.
a podcast, y'all.
But
Yeah.
these two do conspire sometimes.
Who
Huh?
conspire? Neha, have we been conspiring this whole time?
Have we been
I don't think so.
conspiring?
Raf definitely
We've been
has with his
listening.
goblet.
I
He
have
has a goblet.
I have not
You
been
guys,
conspiring anything with my goblets, okay?
Is
It's
that
just
why it's empty
it's a
now?
goblet of cranberry juice.
it's red.
Yeah, cranberry
It's
juice is
also
red.
empty. It emptied down in 45
Because
minutes.
it's cranberry juice.
Oh, there.
Shit.
And with that, thank you so much for listening tonight. Um, please, yes, please consider subscribing. If you have any other conspiracy theories that you want us to touch on, let us know and we will do that. But thank you for joining, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.